Today's video is on section 2.3, the product and quotient rule. Product rule. The derivative of two functions being multiplied with respect to x. How do I do that derivative? Well, I take the first function and I take the derivative times the second function plus take the first function, multiply it by the derivative of the second function. Again, please note there are two functions being multiplied. You take the function of the first derivative of the first one, leave the second one alone. They're being multiplied. Add. Now leave the first one alone, take the first derivative of the second one. And those two are also multiplied. That's how you take the product rule. Let's take an example. You have two individual functions that are being multiplied together. I want to take the first derivative. So let's see what this says. It says take the first derivative of the first one. Okay, let's do that. Times the second one, leave alone, plus leave the first one alone, times the first derivative of the second one. Now I just multiply and simplify. I'm done. Let's try it again. I see 3x squared, that's the first one, times sine of x. Because we do not know how to take the derivative all at one time. We only know how to do the 3x squared or the sine x. So I'm going to use the product rule. I'm going to take the derivative of the first one and leave the second one alone. Plus, leave the first one alone, take the derivative of the second one. Now simplify. Done. Let's try it again. Let's rewrite this a little bit. I don't need to, but I can go ahead and use the product rule with this. I could multiply that in and take the derivative of each term individually. Let's go ahead and try using the product rule. So take the derivative of 1/7, that's 0, times the second one, plus leave the first one alone, take the derivative of the second one. Done. Next, quotient rule. The derivative of one function over another with respect to x. How do I take that derivative? Well, I take the derivative of the numerator times the denominator function minus. Now just write the first function times the derivative of the denominator function. all over the denominator squared. Notice there's no derivative down here. So the numerator looks a lot like the product rule, except product rule has plus, this one has minus. So you always start by taking the derivative of the numerator times the denominator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator, all over the denominator squared. So let's do this example. Clearly, I'm going to use the quotient rule on this one. I'm going to tell everybody I'm now going to take the first derivative. So I take the derivative of the numerator, copy the denominator, minus, copy the numerator, take the derivative of the denominator all over the denominator squared. Let's go ahead and continue to simplify this. This cannot be factored any further. That is not a difference of squares, and there is no addition of two squares. And so this factor is clearly not up here, so we are done. In your directions tonight, in some of the problems, it'll ask you to find the first derivative. Then after you find the first derivative, then evaluate it at some value, like 2. So let's do what it says. Let's take and find the first derivative. It means I'm going to use the quotient rule. Quotient rule says take the numerator and take the derivative. Copy the denominator. Minus, copy the numerator. Take the derivative of the denominator all over the denominator squared. I'm going to go ahead and clean that up just a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and evaluate it at 2. Done. Your homework is from section 2.3, 13 through 53 odd. Thank you.